Listen closely, because this moment is reaching for you with a force that cannot be ignored. Something has been stirring in the depths of your spirit. Something you haven't been able to explain with logic or language. And now the reason is finally stepping out of the shadows. You've been sensing movement around you, subtle shifts, sudden awareness, strange pressure, quiet excitement, even unexplained resistance, and none of it has been accidental. Every whisper in your soul, every nudge in your heart, every restlessness in your spirit has been preparing you for what is about to unfold. There is a divine acceleration pulling you forward, and no one, nothing, and no force in existence can stop what has already been released over your life. You may not see the full picture yet. You may still feel caught between what was and what will be. But even in the uncertainty, something inside you knows the atmosphere has changed. Heaven has moved. A door has opened in the unseen, and the command has already gone out concerning your name. You've carried battles that weren't visible to others. You've endured delays that felt suffocating. You've survived spiritual opposition that tried to wear you down. You've questioned yourself, questioned your worthiness, questioned whether you misheard God, questioned if you were falling behind. But here is the truth, rising like a flame through the fog. Nothing was wasted. Every moment refined you. Every setback shaped you. Every struggle strengthened the very foundation on which your next season will be built. And now, the shift begins. This message is finding you at the exact moment heaven intended. You didn't stumble here. You were drawn here. You were guided here. Because something is being activated inside you, a clarity, a courage, a confirmation. And once it ignites, it will not be extinguished. There is movement coming towards you. Movement that has been delayed, resisted, and fought against in the unseen. But the resistance is breaking. The path is opening. What was blocked is clearing. And hear this, with the full weight of your spirit, they cannot stop what's coming for you. Not the ones who doubted you. Not the ones who tried to limit you. Not the spiritual forces that tried to confuse you. Not the delays that tried to distract you. Once God gives the command, nothing in creation can reverse it. You are stepping into a moment where heaven is saying, move forward. And this time you will. You can feel this momentum gathering around you, and it isn't coming from your own efforts or imagination. It is coming from a higher place, a deeper realm, a source that has been watching over every step you've taken, even when you felt overlooked or forgotten. What is unfolding in your life right now is not random movement. It is divine orchestration. The shift that is reaching for you has been initiated by God Himself. And the message flowing into your spirit carries the unmistakable weight of heaven. There are moments in your journey when God steps closer, when the veil between what is seen and what is unseen grows thin, when the ordinary atmosphere becomes charged with purpose. This is one of those moments. You are being spoken to, guided, strengthened, and positioned by a voice that resounds far beyond human language. It is the voice that called mountains into place, the voice that formed destinies before time began, the voice that knows your name, your path, your purpose, and your becoming. And that voice is saying, move forward. What I have set in motion cannot be stopped. You may not understand why certain battles intensified recently. You may not understand why certain relationships shifted, why certain doors closed, why certain seasons stretched longer than expected. But God has been arranging the unseen architecture of your life with precision. What felt like delay was divine timing. What felt like resistance was spiritual protection. What felt like silence was preparation for a command that would come in the perfect moment. That moment is now. You're not receiving this message because you're desperate or uncertain. You're receiving it because God has chosen this exact hour to make something clear. The next move is not coming from your strength, but from His authority. The direction is not born from fear or confusion, but from revelation. Heaven has been leaning toward your life, observing how you've endured, how you've grown, how you've stayed faithful, even when the path felt dark. Every unseen tear, every whispered prayer, every quiet surrender has been gathered, counted, and remembered. God does not overlook endurance, He rewards it. And you are stepping into a reward that has been building over years of spiritual warfare, years of internal refinement, years of battles you didn't always understand but survived anyway. You've been asking God for clarity, for confirmation, for a sign that you are aligned with His will. This message is that sign. The shift you're sensing is not emotional drift. It is divine momentum. The stirring in your chest is not anxiety. It is spiritual activation. The push you feel is not pressure. It is calling. God is not merely inviting you to move. He is commanding forward motion because the appointed time has arrived. What is ahead has already been approved in the heavens. No hand can block it. No force can delay it. No opposition can dismantle it. When God declares a season open, it opens. When God marks a path, it remains marked. When God sends a command, it will not return void. You are walking into something written long before you were aware of it. And the one who authored it is the one guiding you into it now. What has been moving toward you is not a small shift, not a subtle adjustment, not a gentle turn in the road. It is something far greater, far louder in the spirit, far more impactful than what you imagined when you prayed for breakthrough. This isn't just a new chapter. It is a divine appointment, a spiritual unveiling, a moment in time where heaven releases what has been held guarded and prepared for you. There is a prophetic current rising around your life, and whether you fully see it yet or not, it has already begun to alter the atmosphere you walk in. You've sensed it like a warm wind before a storm. You've felt it like a tremor beneath your feet. You've perceived it like a whisper at the edge of your awareness. And now the fullness of that whisper is being spoken clearly. What's coming cannot be stopped, delayed, reversed, or stolen. It has been decreed. This is the moment when the invisible becomes visible, when the spiritual becomes tangible, when what was promised finally begins to take shape in your reality. And the prophecy over your life is this: God is pushing you forward, and everything that tried to hold you back is losing its grip. For too long, you've been standing at a threshold without realizing the door was already unlocked. You've been waiting for permission when heaven had already stamped approval. You've been looking at obstacles that were only illusions of the past season's shadows, with no power barriers, without substance resistance, without authority. But now, something is shifting in the unseen. You are stepping into a time where long-fought battles suddenly break open, where closed doors swing wide, where hidden pathways reveal themselves, where the fog lifts and the way forward becomes unmistakably clear. This shift will feel like acceleration, like alignment, like divine choreography. Events will unfold with precision. Encounters will be orchestrated. Answers will arrive without strain. The right connections, right opportunities, right revelations, right timing, all converging in a way that can only be described as supernatural. And yet, there is more. This forward motion is not merely about blessing. It is about destiny. It is about you stepping into the identity heaven has been cultivating within you all along. It's about walking into the purpose that has been calling you since before you understood its language. It's about rising into a version of yourself that your past battles forged, your tears watered, and your faith shaped. The prophecy over your life declares that the moment ahead will not resemble the season behind you. You are moving from constriction into expansion, from questioning into clarity, from survival into momentum. This is a shift that breaks patterns, breaks cycles, breaks limitations, breaks every lie that tried to convince you that you were stuck or forgotten. There is a spiritual force behind you now, a divine push, a holy acceleration. And as you move, the things that once intimidated you will lose their power. The voices that tried to discourage you will fall silent. The spiritual opposition that once pressed against you will crumble under the weight of God's command. You are walking into territory that hell hoped you'd never reach. In this prophecy, you are not just stepping forward, you are being carried forward. The unseen realm is roaring around you with agreement. Angels have been assigned. Favor has been released. Barriers are trembling. The atmosphere is shifting. And the very ground beneath your path is beginning to align with what God has spoken. There will be moments in this coming season when you'll pause in awe, realizing that something far greater than your effort is at work. Doors will open with ease. Conversations will flow with grace. Opportunities will arise without striving. And in those moments, you'll know I've stepped into something that was always meant for me. This is the unveiling a movement that cannot be stopped. A destiny that cannot be denied. A season that has already been set in motion. And now that it has begun, nothing and no one can stand in its way. What is unfolding around you is not just a shift in circumstances, it is a shift in realms, a movement in the spiritual architecture of your destiny. To fully grasp what is happening, you must understand the depth of the divine pattern at work. God never pushes you forward without purpose. He never commands movement without meaning. Every step He calls you to take is part of a larger tapestry woven long before you saw even a thread of it. This moment in your life is tied to a spiritual principle that repeats throughout Scripture, throughout history, and throughout the journeys of all who are called into higher purpose. God advances those who have been refined in the shadows. He elevates those who have been shaped in silence. He promotes those who stayed faithful when nothing seemed to be moving. You have been forged like a blade in the heat of adversity, and now the one who shaped you is calling you into the open. The deeper meaning of this season is this: God is transitioning you from preparation into activation. For a long time you walked through what felt like a wilderness, a place where things were stripped, stretched, challenged, and revealed. The wilderness is never punishment. It is a sacred classroom, a spiritual forge, a refining ground, where the unnecessary melts away and the essential becomes unbreakable. There were lessons you could only learn in isolation. There was strength you could only discover through pressure. There was clarity you could only receive in stillness. Now that wilderness has done its work, the stirring you feel is the signal that the season of wandering is ending. You are stepping into a season of walking with direction, authority, and assignment. The fog is clearing. The pace is changing. The weight in your spirit is shifting from endurance to execution. This is why God is saying, move forward. Because destiny is not a distant horizon, it is a door you are now standing in front of. And heaven is confirming that it is time to walk through it. Think of your journey as a series of divine seasons. There was a planting season where things disappeared beneath the surface. There was a waiting season where growth occurred in ways no one could see. There was a pruning season where unnecessary branches were cut away to strengthen the core. And now you are entering a harvest season, not the final harvest, but a pivotal one, a transformational one, a harvest that shifts your identity and redefines your path. The movement you are stepping into is not random. It is the unfolding of divine timing, that mysterious, powerful, supernatural alignment where everything in your life suddenly clicks into place. Time itself bends around God's intention. Delay bows to His command. Every detour, every setback, every disappointment now becomes part of the forward momentum He is generating in your life. And understand this: Forward movement is not always about going somewhere new. Sometimes it is about becoming someone new. You are walking into a version of yourself that trials have shaped. You are rising into the strength you didn't know you had. You are embodying wisdom that pain carved into you. You are stepping into authority that adversity initiated within you. This transformation is not cosmetic. It is foundational. It is spiritual. It is destiny level. God is not just shifting your circumstances, He is shifting your identity to match the calling on your life. The meaning of this prophecy is anchored in this truth. You have been prepared for what is coming, even if you didn't realize it. Every time you kept going when you felt like stopping, prepared you. Every prayer you whispered while feeling unheard, prepared you. Every storm you survived without breaking, prepared you. Every loss that pushed you deeper instead of weaker, prepared you. Every season that felt like nothing was happening, prepared you. And now the spiritual soil beneath your life is responding to that preparation. You are in a moment where the seeds of perseverance are beginning to crack open. New life is emerging. New pathways are forming. New opportunities are waking up. The ground that once resisted you is now ready to receive you. This is the hidden depth behind God's command to move forward. You are not stepping into the unknown. You are stepping into alignment. You are not walking blindly. You are walking prophetically. You are not being pushed. You are being released. The storms behind you were real, but the light ahead is stronger. The closed doors behind you were intentional, but the open doors before you are divinely timed. The battles behind you were fierce, but the victory ahead is already decreed. You are moving out of survival. You are moving into purpose. You are moving toward the life heaven has been shaping around you all along. This is the deeper meaning of the prophecy. Your future has already been spoken for. And now, you're stepping into it. And as this shift unfolds around you, you will begin to notice signs, quiet indicators, subtle markers, spiritual signals that whisper, yes, this is real. Yes, it's happening. Yes, heaven has moved on your behalf. These confirmations are already forming in your atmosphere, and some have been appearing long before you recognize their meaning. God always plants signs along the path of a rising destiny, not to create mystery for its own sake, but to assure the heart of the one He is leading. In this season, your spirit will become unusually sensitive to these signs. They will not arrive with fanfare. They will slip into your awareness the way dawn slips through a window quietly, steadily, undeniably. And while they may appear simple, their impact will go straight to your core. Here are some of the signs you may already be experiencing. 1. A sudden inner release from what once held you emotionally or spiritually. You may notice that something you used to wrestle with, a fear, a memory, a person, a cycle, a weight, suddenly loses its power. It doesn't drain you like before. It doesn't pull you into the same emotional loops. It simply loosens. This release is not your strength. It is God removing the anchor that once kept you tied to an old season. 2. Doors opening with ease after a period of long resistance. What once required struggle now begins to happen naturally. Conversations flow. Opportunities show up. Connections feel purposeful instead of forced. You will notice that certain things begin aligning too perfectly to be coincidence. This is a sign that the divine timing you were waiting for has awakened. 3. A renewed clarity rising in your spirit. Your thoughts may feel sharper. Decisions feel simpler. What once felt overwhelming now feels manageable. You're not just thinking differently. You're being guided. God is aligning your perspective with His purpose, so that when He says move forward, you move without hesitation. 4. Opposition shifting from overwhelming to ineffective. You may still feel resistance, but it won't carry the same bite. The same voices that once discouraged you will lose their influence. The same doubts that once shook you will feel hollow. The same spiritual attacks that once drained you will weaken. This is a sign that the enemy's access is being revoked. 5. A quiet anticipation in your heart that you cannot explain. It feels like standing at the edge of a sunrise, sensing light before you see it. Something inside you knows change is near. You may feel restless, energized, pulled towards something you cannot yet define. This is not anxiety, it is alignment. Your spirit feels what your eyes cannot yet see. Unexpected moments of peace breaking through the noise. Not the fragile peace that depends on circumstances, but the deep, settling peace that comes from the presence of God. It arrives in ordinary moments while you walk, breathe, think, pray. A peace that says, I'm with you. Keep going, you're almost there. These signs are not random. They are confirmations that heaven has already shifted your path. They are reminders that God has gone before you, and everything ahead has been prepared for your arrival. They are evidence that the prophecy is real, the momentum is active, and the next step is ordained. When you notice these signs, and you will let them anchor your spirit. Let them strengthen your faith. Let them remind you that what's coming cannot be stopped. Because these signs are not merely hints of what God is doing. They are footprints of His presence along the road you are meant to walk. Even as the signs confirm the shift around you, there is another layer to this journey that must be understood: the hidden challenges that often appear right before fulfillment. These challenges do not come to block you, but to strengthen the muscles required for what you're stepping into. They are not punishments. They are not signs that you've taken the wrong path. They are spiritual tests designed to sharpen your discernment, deepen your trust, and anchor your faith as God moves you forward. Before breakthrough, there is often turbulence. Before clarity, there is often pressure. Before elevation, there is often resistance. You may have already felt some of these challenges rising around you, and if so, you are not failing. You are entering the final stretch before manifestation. Here are some of the hidden challenges you may encounter in this season 1. An increase in spiritual or emotional pressure right before advancement. This pressure may feel sudden or unexplainable, like something is trying to push against the very progress God is calling you into. It may show up as fatigue, discouragement, or restlessness. But understand, this pressure intensifies, not because you're losing ground, but because you're breaking through it. 2. Relationships shifting in unexpected ways. People who once felt aligned with you may begin drifting away. Doors to old connections may quietly close. Misunderstandings may arise out of nowhere. This isn't sabotage, it's separation. When God moves you forward, He removes anything that cannot travel into the next phase of your purpose. 3. Old insecurities resurfacing temporarily. As you prepare to step into greater responsibility, greater visibility, or greater purpose, past doubts may try to resurface. Thoughts like, am I ready? What if I fail? Or why me? May echo in your mind. These are not truths. They are echoes of an old version of you being confronted by the new identity God is calling forth. 4. Delays that seem confusing but are actually protection. You may encounter moments where something seems slowed down or paused without explanation. This is not stagnation. It is God's strategic timing at work. Sometimes He delays to protect. Sometimes He delays to align. Sometimes He delays because the blessing is ready, but the environment is not. 5. A sudden sense of isolation or being pulled away. You may notice you're spending more time alone, thinking deeper, questioning more intentionally, or feeling spiritually withdrawn from old environments. This isolation is not abandonment. It is consecration. God is pulling you closer to Him so He can speak clearly as you prepare to step forward. Each of these challenges carries a purpose. They refine, they sharpen, they strengthen, and most importantly, they reveal what was always true, that you are capable of walking through spiritual testing without collapsing, without losing heart, without forgetting who walks with you. These challenges come right before elevation, because your breakthrough is too important to enter unprepared. God does not push you forward recklessly. He prepares you through pressure so you can carry the blessing with stability, wisdom, and authority. So if you've felt these challenges, do not interpret them as signs to stop. Interpret them as confirmation that you are closer than you think. They are the tremors before the shift, the stretching before the release, the strengthening before the forward motion. What's coming is worth the endurance. And God is using every challenge, seen and unseen, to shape you into the person who can walk confidently into the next phase of your calling. And now that you understand both the signs and the challenges, the path forward becomes clearer. God never calls you into a new season without giving you the instructions needed to walk through it with strength, wisdom, and supernatural confidence. What He is releasing into your life is too significant to enter passively. This is a season where movement must be intentional, where obedience must be swift, and where your spirit must remain open to divine guidance. The command in this hour is simple yet powerful. Move forward. But what does that truly mean? It means stepping with faith even when you cannot see the entire path. It means aligning your actions with heaven's momentum. It means refusing to stay entangled in what God has already called you out of. Here are the divine instructions being spoken over your life in this season of acceleration. 1. Release what God has released. There are people, patterns, habits, and environments that were necessary in previous chapters, but cannot travel with you into the next. Forward movement requires uncluttered hands and an unburdened spirit. If something has been drifting away, let it. If God has closed a door, don't keep knocking. What is ahead demands a heart that is not entangled with yesterday's attachments. 2. Strengthen your spiritual foundation. As God advances you, your root system must deepen. Spend intentional time in prayer, reflection, and meditation. Reconnect with the voice of God in ways that tune out distractions. This is not about religious performance, it is about spiritual alignment. The more you ground yourself in His presence, the more confidently you will walk forward. 3. Step toward what has been placed in your spirit. You have ideas, callings, assignments, dreams that didn't appear randomly. They were placed within you by the One who knew the timing of this moment. Start moving toward them. Not with perfection, not with full understanding, but with willingness. God doesn't require flawless execution. He requires faithful initiation. 4. Guard your atmosphere. As momentum increases, so does spiritual noise. You may need to create distance from negativity, chaos, or voices that stir doubt. You don't need the approval of those who can't see what God is doing in you. Surround yourself intentionally with peace, clarity, and environments that nurture your spirit. Your atmosphere in this season must match your assignment. 5. Speak life over your path. Your words hold power in the unseen. Declare what God has spoken. Affirm what He has promised. Reject narratives that contradict your destiny. When you speak life, you align your reality with heaven's decree. Your voice is a tool. Use it intentionally, boldly, prophetically. Walk with expectancy, not fear. You are not stepping into danger. You are stepping into destiny. Fear does not belong in this chapter. You may feel stretching, but stretching is not threat. It is expansion. Walk with expectation that God will meet you at every step, guide every decision, and open every necessary door. 7. Act when God nudges you. Forward motion often begins with small assignments. Send that message, apply for that opportunity. Start that project. Take that step, make that change. When God nudges your spirit, respond quickly. Delayed obedience can slow momentum, but swift obedience aligns you with divine rhythm. 8. Protect your vision. Not everyone can see what God has shown you. Not everyone will understand your calling. Share your vision only with those who are spiritually aligned and emotionally mature enough to hold it. The wrong ears can distort what heaven entrusted to your spirit. 9. Refuse to retreat. Old cycles may try to pull you back, but retreat is not an option. You've outgrown what once confined you. You've healed past what once held you. You've matured beyond what once limited you. When God says move forward, it means forward is where favor lives, where purpose unfolds, where destiny breathes. Each of these instructions is not meant to burden you. They are meant to empower you. God is not giving you commands to overwhelm you. He is giving you strategy to elevate you. He is preparing you to walk into a blessing that has been guarded, preserved, and timed specifically for your journey. This is a sacred moment in your story. A moment where heaven aligns with earth. A moment where God's voice becomes your compass. You are being equipped, strengthened, and positioned for what's ahead. And as you follow these divine instructions, you will feel the shift. You will sense the acceleration. You will know deep in your spirit that nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop what God has already set in motion. The next step is not just obedience, it is transformation. As you move forward, understand this. With the full weight of your spirit, you are not walking into this new season alone. Heaven never commands movement without sending protection. God never calls you into purpose without surrounding you with His presence. The path before you may feel unfamiliar, but it is not unsafe. Every step you take is being watched over, guarded, and shielded by divine authority. You have been protected in more ways than you realize. There were battles you never had to fight because God fought them before they ever reached you. There were traps that never touched you because angels dismantled them long before you arrived. There were dangers you walked past unknowingly because His hand was covering your life in places you could not see. And now, as you step into the momentum of this new season, that protection only strengthens. There is a hedge rising around you, a spiritual barrier that the enemy cannot penetrate, a shield of light that absorbs what was meant to harm you, a fortress of peace that anchors you even when the world around you feels unstable. God is not only guiding your steps, He is guarding your journey. You may face challenges, but you will not face destruction. You may experience resistance, but you will not experience defeat. You may feel pressure, but you will not collapse. Why? Because God has gone before you. He walks ahead of you to clear the path. He walks beside you to steady your heart. He walks behind you to shield your back. There is no direction left uncovered, even in moments when fear tries to whisper. Even when uncertainty tries to rise. Even when old doubts attempt to pull you backward, you will feel an unexplainable peace anchoring you. This peace is not human. It is not logical. It does not come from circumstances. It comes from presence. His presence overshadowing you, enfolding you, stabilizing you. God is saying to your spirit, do not fear what is ahead. I am with you. I am in it. I am for you. There will be moments in the coming days when you'll sense this protection tangibly. Moments when you suddenly feel calm. Moments when a situation shifts in your favor. Moments when an obstacle dissolves without effort. These moments are reminders that you are not navigating this season by yourself. Divine protection has been activated around your life in a new, heightened way. And this protection doesn't just keep harm away. It keeps purpose intact. It ensures that what belongs to you cannot be stolen. It ensures that what God has spoken cannot be canceled. It ensures that what is meant for you will reach you. It ensures that the prophecy over your life will stand untouched by the hands of those who wish to see it undone. You are covered. You are guarded. You are surrounded by a presence stronger than any weapon formed against you. So walk forward with confidence. Walk forward with assurance. Walk forward with the knowing that heaven is not merely observing your journey, it is escorting you into your destiny. What's ahead is good. What's ahead is protected. And what's ahead is yours. And as you walk under this covering, guided by divine instruction and strengthened by heaven's assurance, something extraordinary begins to unfold within you. The shift that once felt distant becomes unmistakably personal. You begin to feel a transformation rising from the inside out, not rushed, not forced, but awakened like a dawn breaking open after a long night. This transformation is not merely about blessings arriving. It is about you becoming the person who can carry them. The trials behind you carved depth into your spirit. The delays built patience. The battles strengthened resilience. The disappointments sharpened discernment. And now every piece of your journey converges into a moment where you finally step into alignment with who you were destined to be. You will notice this transformation first in your mind. Thoughts that once spiraled into fear will settle into clarity. Patterns that once held you back will lose their influence. Lies you once believed about yourself will crumble under the weight of truth. You will begin to think from a place of purpose, not survival. Expectation, not dread. Identity, not insecurity. This is the renewing of your mind, one of the first signs that fulfillment is drawing near. Then you'll feel it in your spirit. Where heaviness once lived, there will be lightness. Where confusion once clouded you, there will be direction. Where exhaustion sat in your chest, there will be a strange, unexplainable strength. It will feel as if something inside you is waking up, stretching, standing tall for the first time in a very long time. This inner shift is evidence that heaven is preparing you to receive what is coming. Then it manifests in your steps. You'll move differently. You'll decide differently. You'll speak differently. You'll walk with boldness that surprises even you. You'll stop asking permission from the world and start receiving confirmation from God. Your actions will align with your destiny, not your doubt. And as this transformation takes form, the fulfillment of what God promised begins to materialize around you. It won't happen in one explosive moment. It will unfold like a divine symphony, each piece entering at the exact right time, each blessing building upon the last, each breakthrough leading you deeper into the life God designed for you. What once felt delayed will feel right on time. What once felt impossible will feel natural. What once felt too big will feel exactly aligned with your identity. Doors will open, the kinds of doors that don't budge for effort, but swing wide for divine favor. People will appear, the right ones, the aligned ones, the ones connected to your next season. Resources will flow not through striving, but through supernatural orchestration. And through it all, you will feel a profound sense of rightness, as though your life is finally catching up to the blueprint that has always existed in the mind of God. But the greatest fulfillment is not in the blessings themselves. It is in the realization that you have become the person God always knew you could be. It is in the peace that settles over you when you understand that everything you endured had purpose. It is in the joy that fills your spirit when you step into a moment and recognize, this is what the warfare was preparing me for. This is what the waiting was shaping in me. This is what the enemy tried so desperately to stop. Fulfillment is the revelation that God did not forget you, delay you, or abandon you. He was preparing you, and now you are ready. What's coming is not small. What's coming is not fragile. What's coming is not uncertain. It is established. It is ordained. It is unstoppable. And now, so are you. As this word settles into your spirit, let it reshape the atmosphere around you. Let it soften the places where fear once lived and strengthen the places where courage is being born. You are stepping into a season where forward motion is not just a command, it is a promise. A promise that what God has spoken over your life will not return void. A promise that what is coming toward you cannot be stopped. A promise that you are walking into the fullness of a destiny that has been waiting for your arrival. Before you go, speak these affirmations aloud. They are short, but they carry weight. They seal what has been released, align your spirit with heaven, and anchor this prophecy into your daily walk. Affirmation 1. I move forward with confidence, guided by God's direction. Affirmation 2. Nothing can stop what God has prepared for me. Affirmation 3. I am protected, chosen, and fully aligned with my purpose. Affirmation 4. My future has already been spoken for, and I walk boldly into it. Let these words echo inside you. Let them rise in moments of doubt. Let them steady you when resistance tries to reappear. Let them remind you that forward is not just a direction, it is your destiny. Now receive this blessing. May the path ahead of you be illuminated with divine clarity. May every step you take be guided by the wisdom of heaven. May your spirit remain steady, unshaken, by the noise of the world, anchored in the peace that surpasses understanding. May God surround you with protection so complete that no weapon, no word, no scheme can prevail against you. May your heart recognize divine timing, and may your hands be ready to receive every blessing prepared for your name. May acceleration find you, overtake you, and carry you into rooms and opportunities designed for your calling. May courage rise, may fear fall, and may your purpose awaken in full measure. You are stepping into a new season, one marked by clarity, by movement, by breakthrough, by divine orchestration. You are not the person you were when this journey began. You are stronger, wiser, deeper, and more aligned than ever before. And now, walk forward. Walk boldly. Walk with expectation. Because what's coming for you cannot be stopped. And the God who spoke over your life is the God who will bring it to completion. Go in peace. Go in purpose. Go in power. Your time has come.